One of the most obvious limits to humanity's sustained development is energy production. Fossil fuels are coming to an end and they pollute a lot. Wind farms take a lot of space and their maintenance can be costly. Hydroelectric plants cause major environmental impact. You get the picture. Our energy resources are either going to eventually run out or they come with unfriendly price tags. Now, nuclear fusion, not fission, might be the solution to this problem. Let me introduce you to ITER, that is ITER. According to ITER.org, by the end of this experiment, it will have taken 35 years of hard work, billions and billions of dollars, and thousands of brilliant minds from 35 different countries just to see whether we get some good results from it. Now, as a science enthusiast, let me show you and share with you some information about the technology that is behind this project and also the impact that it can have in our world in the future. Jeff Tollefson in Nature News said that nearly 11% of our world's electricity production today comes from nuclear fission plants. And in the US, that number is even higher. It's 20%. One of the biggest problems with our nuclear power plants is the radioactive materials they generate. Now, nuclear fusion doesn't have that problem. It doesn't generate much radioactivity at all. It also does not generate much carbon dioxide, which is another big problem we face today. The sun and the stars run on nuclear fusion energy. They have a little advantage because they are so big and their gravity helps the atoms to come together and fuse together and generate energy that way. Here on Earth, things are much more complicated. But before we go into that, let me just show you a little drawing that ITER.org has, and it explains where the energy will be taken from. Here we have two atoms of hydrogen. They're not exactly the same. You can see that this one has one neutron and this one has two. But I don't want to get into the technical details. When the atoms come together, there's a lot of energy that comes out of this process. And that's where the energy will be coming from. The ambition behind this project is that for every 50 megawatts of energy that will be put into the process, 500 megawatts will come out. So the ambition is that they will get 10 times more energy than what they invest. And that's part of the reason why so much effort is being put into this. According to ITER's Principal Deputy Director General Norbert Holtkamp, the countries behind ITER represent half of the world's population, and the 7 official member states are China, Europe, India, Japan, Korea, Russia, and the US. Well, now that we have discussed a little bit about nuclear fusion and nuclear fission and their difference, remembering that nuclear fusion is what we're talking about and what this project is about. Let's move on and talk a little bit about how this can impact our world. It could decrease the total carbon dioxide emissions we have, because in nuclear fusion plants we wouldn't have much carbon dioxide emissions. Also, as the population grows, we need more and more energy. So in that way we could increase the amount of energy supplied without causing our world even more damage. It's a much more sustainable way of getting our energy resources, because we can continue producing more and more, and we may actually be able to decrease the total amount of pollutants we generate. I hope you have learned a little bit about the broad issue of energy production, and also you may be starting to think of some solutions to the problem. And whether or not this project is successful, we don't know. Nobody really knows. But we certainly should want to be able to celebrate with them this victory for our world sustainability. Because if this really happens, we may be able to have a much brighter future with less environmental problems. And this may just determine the new future standard approach to supplying our ever increasing energy needs.